Welcome back to another episode of the Plant.Body.Soul podcast. And I am sitting here with my wonderful co-host, Gordon Ogden.
Hi, Jen.
Hi, nice to see you, buddy.
How are you?
I'm great, thank you. How
Good.
are you?
I'm doing great.
Great. We're also sitting here with two of our esteemed guests. First, we have Eileen Spitalny. She is the founder, director of Fairy Tale Brownies. So delicious. And we also have Heather Lennon, who is the founder of Imagine Develops and Raconteuse Cigars, amongst many other ventures. We are honored to be seated with two of you. Thank you so much for your time today.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah, we're happy to be here.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, let's jump in. Eileen, can you just tell us a little bit about Fairy Tale Brownies and how that started?
Sure. Well, Fairy Tale Brownies is started in 1992 by my friend since kindergarten, David and I. And really, we just wanted to do our own thing. We grew up together here in Phoenix, went to high school together, and college kept talking about when we grow up, what are we going to do, and then had corporate jobs and got frustrated about the same time and wanted to do our own thing. I was at Univision, the television, Spanish television network, and we decided to take a family recipe and try it with chocolate all over the world and start a brownie company and be like Ben and Jerry's. We thought it'd be so easy and fun because we were 26 years old and it was very difficult and heartbreaking, but we're still in business 31 years later and still friends.
Oh, that's amazing. Whose family recipe?
It's Nancy's, my business partner David. It's his mom, and I had a working mother, and he did not. And we ate these brownies all the time at his house after school. And she made two kinds, plain and walnut, and plain is now called original because it's the OG brownie flavor, and we have 12 flavors now.
And they're all phenomenally delicious.
They are
delicious.
amazing.
Sorry, not sorry.
Yeah, no.
And
Exactly right. Sorry, not sorry.
we've been friends for a while, and I know this about you, that you were able to acquire Brownies.com early on. I mean,
Which is
wow,
quite
that's
impressive.
amazing.
Yeah, well, first ones to buy it.
Yes.
And if we were super smart, we would have bought a bunch more domain names. But because the guys we bought it from, they bought beer.com. But in the beginning, you could only buy one domain name per company. So we actually made some little fictitious companies, and we started with, I think, 3 or 4 domain names. But brownies.com we're very happy to have for $50. And
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Very.
And how'd you come up with the name?
Fairy tale. So we, of course, when you look up brownie in the dictionary, it's the little chocolate square, but definition 2 is the little elf that performs good deeds at night. Just like Girl Scouts, they're called brownies. The brownies are the do-gooders. So we liked that the do-gooders. I mean, in our business, we also wanted to do good back in our community and for our employees, and we didn't know what that meant, but we knew if we started a business, we were going to do good as well. So brownies come in, like here, they'd come into the studio tonight when you're all gone, and they clean it up, but they don't want anything in return. So so we like that message, and they live out in fairyland, of course, with sprites and nymphs and all those little people. So we just named our guy the Fairy Tale Brownie, and bakes all the brownies for us. And the legend goes, in the wee hours of night, the fairy tale brownie gleams with delight. With his magic spoon in hand, he creates the greatest brownies in all of fairyland.
Oh, that's amazing.
I love that.
Nice.
Sweet.
So Fairy Tale Brownies, it's the guy that does all the work for us, and we just ship them.
I love that. That's wonderful. It's a nice story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I'd love to know, Heather, what motivated you to establish your company, Imagine Contracting and Development, and how do you feel your company has impacted the community?
Let's see. I come from a legacy of family entrepreneurs for many generations. So it's been modeled for me for a really long time. Those are the conversations I overheard at the dinner table as I was growing up. So that's always been kind of on my radar. I just didn't know exactly what that was going to be. And I started a design firm. And I have a master's degree that focuses on consumer behavior and retail store design. So I started off doing that, and then it grew and people started asking me to do more. So I got my residential and commercial general contractor's license. And we are celebrating 26 years this month.
Also amazing.
Oh, that's amazing.
Anniversary.
Thank you.
Yeah.
So it's a full service
Amazing.
residential commercial general contracting firm. We also have I have 2 development companies now, Imagine Develops, and then also Arizona Warehouse Holdings, which I have with my fabulous partners in New York. And we're really, really in love with Phoenix and downtown specifically. So we're happy to be here.
We're glad to have you, and we are friends also. And I just have to say, I have an admiration for what you've done to save a lot of the historical buildings in downtown Phoenix. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of preservation mindset down here with
I'm
our
here.
very limited.
And Chris Mackey is here.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
no, it's really important.
we leveled the building where Miranda rights happened. Yeah.
Yeah, it's really unfortunate. And we talk about that, I'm saving the history of Phoenix one old building at a time.
Yeah.
And it really is so important to do that because we're such a young country. We're such a young city.
Yes.
If not us, then who?
Right.
If we do not do it now, then they won't be here. So it's absolutely a focus of mine. I'm happy to have had my hands on a lot of old buildings that I know will remain now. And that's a really cool legacy.
Thank you for
you.
that service.
Thank
I
you.
just got
Thank
chills
Yes.
in my body too. Yeah. It's very cool.
Both of you have established and created these successful businesses. Can you talk about a significant challenge you faced as a female entrepreneur and how you overcame it?
I think, a lot of times when I was starting, I guess I felt more, and maybe it was female, but I felt like a lot of times it was because they thought I was too young. So I just didn't know. And then what I did in my previous job definitely felt the same because I was kind of standing up for the Hispanic community, and some businesses didn't believe in that, and I did. But so I guess I just kind of always have been like odd man out. So I guess really it's just perseverance, which I guess I learned from my parents. I definitely learned from my parents perseverance and all that. They weren't legacy entrepreneurs, so they definitely were confused why I did a brownie company. But so I think for me, really, it was just like being a bulldog. Just I've never given up, and I guess that was part of maybe the female in me. I didn't know. We kind of just get used to trying and trying again and trying again and trying again and not giving up. So it was just kind of the same thing for me. And now we have a lot of women in Fairy Tale Brownies. So as a leader, I definitely tried to instill confidence and self-esteem for them and really everybody, so that they can grow within our leadership at our company. But biggest challenge for us was really, I had no idea that I was starting a company that makes money 1 month a year. So that is very
That's
challenging. It's like
yes.
being a farmer. So, and then the seasonality does all sorts of things, staffing and cash flow and all of that.
So 1 month a year, is that Valentine's or Christmas?
That would be December.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of all the business gift giving.
And
Yeah.
tell us how many brownies you ship.
We bake and ship, and we did not. So back to you can do anything, because I'm not a baker. So we didn't even know how to bake, and now we bake and ship over 7 million brownies a year.
Wow. And the
Yeah.
majority of that in December?
And half of those are the first 3 weeks. We don't even take the whole month to do it. They're all
Ooh.
shipped by
Amazing.
December 21st.
Wow.
As it should be. Cheers
It's
to that.
insane. It's insane. But
That's
it's exciting.
nuts.
Yeah, it is.
It's
It is.
phenomenal.
Good for you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Yeah.
And she's humble.
Indeed.
Indeed.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, that's a lot of brownies.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah. Yeah.
Ooh.
But I mean, if you think about
it-
that, it's not just a lot of brownies, it's a lot of jobs,
Totally.
Yeah.
right? It's a lot
Yes.
of people raising their families on the work that they have done.
Yeah.
So, the trickle down of being able to create business is, you can't even imagine how far it is, because it's also your suppliers.
Right,
Right?
that we've been buying for
Absolutely.
years. And then we have people, like we do happy anniversary cards, and it's January, so we were just signing the whole year. And yes, there's people, congratulations on 1 year, but we have a lot of people 10 years, 13, 18.
Oh, that's great.
30. We have somebody there.
Oh,
for
wow.
30 years of our 32 years. Yeah. So
Very cool.
that too is speaks to it, because you do start feeling like, right, I'm taking care of them and their families. So in times,
I felt that absolutely, especially during COVID.
Yeah, so that part can be a responsibility.
For certain.
But
We feel that too.
I wouldn't. Right. Yeah.
But as it should be,
Correct.
right?
Yeah.
So that's
But it's exciting, and we should all be proud of ourselves.
That's great. And for you, Heather, any significant challenges that come to mind being a female entrepreneur?
I think that this is going to sound silly, but I'm so used to being a woman, I don't ever classify anything in that manner.
Great.
Challenges are just challenges, and I don't know if they're sexist or not.
Right.
I just have always just kept my head down and worked. But they're, of course, rampant. I mean, I am starting my 7th business, and they're all male-dominated for some reason, from construction to development to I own a cigar business. They're all male-dominated, and it's never been an issue. But you get bullied, right? You get spoken to in a manner in which a man would never speak to a man in that manner. No one walks on one of my job sites and comes to me thinking I'm the general contractor, right? Or the developer.
Yeah.
They think I'm the homeowner, or I'm the person pushing the broom, so I must be the cleaning crew. But I love being underestimated, and it has served me beautifully.
Yeah.
I agree. I agree with that.
Yeah, I park at the back of the bakery every day. I like to come through the back door and see what's going on.
Yeah,
I don't
agreed.
want to be in the center stage.
Definitely.
Yeah.
It takes chutzpah.
Agreed.
It does.
No, it's true. But it's necessary to model those things, I think. I mean, I have a 17-year-old daughter, and I want her to know she can be whatever she wants to be when she grows up. So, for myself and for those around me and the people that I am able to touch with the work that I do, I want them to know those things.
I truly believe that you both are setting a really bright, shining example for women who are observing, looking for people that that show that I can do it too.
Definitely.
Thank
definitely.
you. Well, and others and peers have gotten me, I'm sure us, to where we are. I've always been asking for help, and I still do.
course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It absolutely. I mean, we have a significant number of general contracting and development projects going on right now. Plus, our cigar business is thriving, and we can talk more about that.
Yes.
But that I absolutely cannot do those things alone, nor would I want to, even if I could. I really, really believe that you need to figure out what your superpowers are and just do that. And gather those around you that also understand what their superpowers are, and help find things that they can utilize just their superpowers. And it works beautifully. You have to delegate what
Agreed.
you're not great
There's
at.
no other way to grow. Otherwise,
Agreed.
you wouldn't have 7 businesses, and we wouldn't
Or
be
7 million brownies.
Right, exactly. Yeah, there's no way to
I
do
know, the
that.
7s are good for us.
Well, yeah, you know what you're good at, you know what you're not good at, so you find the people that play at what you're not good at.
Right,
absolutely.
Right.
So
Yeah,
Definitely.
yeah.
we own that too.
Right.
I definitely am glad that we have amazing, people that content creators and social media strategists and directors that, gosh, I get so frustrated after 30 minutes on the platforms. I'm like, done. So not having to worry about that for clients is really
How old is
helpful.
your? I don't know if we're allowed to ask you questions.
Yes.
How old is your business now, Plant.Body.Soul?
We'll be 4.
4
Okay.
in
Yeah,
May 6th.
6th.
Okay, you have industry. Okay,
Yeah.
Yeah, we
Okay.
started in a pandemic.
Because it's
Oh, yeah, wow.
Yeah.
We were furloughed from our
uh-huh.
previous employer, which and now we're back and have some
Yeah.
relationship with Walter. We're still producing Walter Yoga, but without we have this as our main focus. So, but yeah, we met in secret here in my little office, my wellness office in the main building. And then we've expanded and pretty much taken over the whole bottom floor of this building and the south. Yeah. So it's, I'm pinching myself that it's been 4 years.
I know, it's crazy.
Time flies.
It does.
It
does.
Oh. So as two female entrepreneurs, I know that you are cooking something up, and it's an event called Women PHX, Women Phoenix 24, and I'm curious if you can share more about this and what the concept is and who your target audience is.
Absolutely. So it started out with in my cigar business, I really like doing collaborative things with people. I think we rise together. I love gathering together small businesses and being of service to other people. And there's so many great ways to smoke cigars, one of which is with chocolate. And of course, I thought, gosh, it would be really great to do a cigar event, which is what my company does, with brownies and coffee. So I called my friend Eileen and said, hey, Eileen, would you like to do a pop-up with us? And it started out like that, and it was kind of the last quarter of the year, and we were looking at timing, and we said, oh boy, let's wait until next year. And so we're meeting regularly and doing lots of planning, and we're really looking forward to welcoming people and giving you more information when that's ready. But it will be an event that will be hosted by a bunch of female entrepreneurs, and we're going to be inviting a lot of amazing women to join us, and we're going to have free workshops and opportunities to learn and opportunities to talk to female entrepreneurs and do some yoga and some breath work.
Yay.
And we've invited a bunch of our friends to join us. So we want to highlight women and what amazing things they do as entrepreneurs.
Yeah.
It's
been great just planning, like just doing the work, because I'm getting to meet new females and new businesses and organizations. And so just the planning part has been exciting, just to get to know others and use their skill sets, and how people are just pitching in is wonderful. And I love it because actually I remember way back when, because I started in sales and joined some nonprofits, some things that have new names now, but it was called Phoenix City Club back in the day. And that's just kind of how you get to know what's going on in the community, is by doing good things. And it's really, makes me happy after a meeting. I feel it's very stimulating, I guess.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I have a strange feeling that with all these amazing women that we have brought together, that this is not the end of us. I think we'll certainly do this annually, but I'm very curious to see what other good trouble we can get into together.
And yes, the two of us, and then with those all maybe even be creating on the side already. I don't even know.
No, sorry, not sorry.
Exactly.
Well, I'm excited to see how everything unfolds this year, and also to be a part of the experience with yoga and breath work. And
thank you.
Yes, thank you, and Plant.Body.Soul for your willingness to join us.
Yeah.
It's we have been friends for a while, and there's never been an occasion when I've called and asked for something that you haven't graciously accepted. So appreciate that a lot.
All love for you. So
yes.
Did you girls meet through breathing or smoking? Or
through events?
Yeah, we met when I was still one of the properties that we bought with Arizona Warehouse Holdings. Many people know as Warehouse 215.
Oh, right, yes.
And it's a beautiful venue run by an amazing team, and we're thrilled to be there. And we met through there and just connected.
Yeah.
I believe in the energy in the room, and our energies matched almost instantly.
Yeah.
Nice.
So, it was lovely.
It was. And I was just so, having seen Warehouse 215 in its former days as the Bentley Gallery, I walked through that building and just thought, oh my gosh, this is such an incredible, you've done such an incredible job at revitalizing and even just totally uplifting what it was ever. So, I mean, it's a really impressive space. And I knew that you were special.
With that, yeah, the word.
But in a good way.
The energy, you can feel
feel
the love, the attention to detail, the care for the building, and the people. So that's what spoke to me, and I knew we would be friends. So.
And we are.
Yeah.
Well, side note, Eileen went to Burning Man with us this year.
Yes.
I know. I'm kind of jealous that I didn't get to go when you were there.
You were one of my first little mentors, though. You guys, I first said, can I just buy you lunch? Or maybe you bought me lunch, but give me advice on how to do this thing. And you said, find a buddy and buy 2 tickets.
Yes.
So that was the beginning of my
awesome.
path.
I have not been.
Yeah.
Is it a must?
It's
Yes. If it attracts you, then yes.
if you are willing to, 1, work hard, and 2, completely open your mind to like anything is possible, including like art and music and all sorts of oddities that happen at Burning Man. Like that's definitely, I think you're probably ready to go.
Yes.
So yeah.
Conversations, observations.
Yeah.
Sure.
The art is
Inspiration.
amazing. That's what was my initial draw,
sure.
is to witness what is built.
Yeah.
Well, it sounds
think-
like it's just a creative force that people gather to.
Yes.
Yeah,
Very
and
much so.
as a contractor, as someone who has like a design eye, I think you would really get a kick out of the structures and the art that's built.
Yes.
It's just
It's
incredible.
beyond anything that you can
cool.
try and explain.
Right.
It's truly.
And the scale of it is so massive. And I find it interesting, Eileen. So you went the year that it downpoured and it was
Yes.
muddy.
The muddy year.
Yeah. So having nothing else to compare it to, right?
Right, nothing.
Nothing
right.
else to
yes.
compare it
yes,
to.
except the tales I've heard.
Yes. I'm curious as to what your thoughts were. How did you feel when it was this like muddy experience? And would you go back to try it again and maybe have a different experience?
I definitely go. I'm going back.
Okay, good.
So that was like a given. I could tell. Yeah, when I first got there, yes. It just changed things, and that's what it's like at Burning Man. You wake up, or maybe you haven't gone to bed yet, but you think this is how my next day will play out, and it will change because of what So you may think you'll be there at a certain time, but so when it rained, it just changed. I mean, the first thing was to batten down our neighborhood. We had to, make paths to get around our little neighborhood G, we called it. And then in our camp, we all met, and what can we do for each other who is short on something and who needs something. And really what it meant in the big scheme of things to me, and I had never been, was just like, oh, there's no more riding bikes. So you walked around your neighborhood, and we got to know our little area a little bit more. So it just changed it. And right, I really had nothing to compare it to, but that's what it was like. I guess my only sadness was not getting to see more burns than I did, because those were pretty, like I did not see the temple burn, and I am sure
It's my favorite.
Yeah, I'm sure the energy or what you feel is just like unforgettable. So yeah, but Burning Man was the best fireworks show you'll see anywhere in the world.
Yeah. For
And everybody's so
Yeah.
polite too, which is so nice. You're not at like a fireworks show where everybody's like,
So for reference, Heather, they build these massive structures, and many of them burn. Not all of them burn, but the man of Burning Man burns on Saturday, and then the temple burns on Sunday, and the man is like a party. It's definitely more alive.
Like the crescendo of the week.
Yeah.
And then the temple is kind of the bookend
close
on the event, where it's kind of a temple. It is a temple, and that burns in silence. Everyone is quiet, so it's the exact opposite.
Yeah,
of-
people, leave like, photos or mementos of loved ones that have passed, or, writing, like for me, it was writing a forgiveness letter to myself, for things that have been heavy for me. So it's people go there for all different reasons, and I did find it really poignant when everybody's gathered around and there's 80,000 people or 75,000 people, and you could hear a pin drop when the temple is being burned, and it's quite something. So maybe you'll make it this year.
It sounds
maybe.
interesting.
Yeah.
Sure.
It
A
is
little frightening.
interesting. It is.
Interesting it is. Yes.
Well, you have some good company if you're interested.
For sure.
Sounds like it.
So how, for both of you, how important has networking and community involvement been in your entrepreneurial journey?
So important. Really, for me, that's, I guess, how I find others that are kind of like-minded and open, back to like when I was feeling about when I was young and sometimes it was a challenge. By being involved in my community, I found others maybe same age or older that would bring me along and with open arms. So it's just, it's the fabric of our community. We are to be together as people, not alone. So working alone is never going to gather you much success. So it's just kind of really, if anything, it's the thing about learning how to be comfortable with your uncomfortableness, because when you are growing your business and maybe you don't know this and need help there, maybe you're nervous to ask. But I think that's one of the biggest keys I've learned, and I've tried to help with my daughter, is just learning how to be comfortable in the skin you're in, know that others are uncomfortable, and it just kind of, life gets easier. It also gets harder, but life gets easier. It's just, but it's been very key to me, and I am definitely involved in nonprofits continuously and have been really since I volunteered in college, but I've always been a part of a nonprofit, whether I'm on the board or just a member.
And I think, speaking of networking, you and I actually met through YEO. Young Entrepreneurs Organization, and that speaks to kind of that networking community piece as well.
And that was super helpful for me because it was all because my friends, I'm lucky I have friends since kindergarten here, but not all of them are business owners, and they just don't understand the same issues. And it was great. I'm an only child. My forum was like, and I had women sometimes in my forum, but a lot of times it was me and the guys. So it's like I feel like I had all these brothers that really I could talk to. So really that my forum became my family, and we're not members anymore, but we still meet, and they've known me before my child was born. You have to get $1 million in revenue. So kind of whenever that was, I joined. I was like, I'm looking for help, and now I'm in an organization too that's all my competitors, which is the best. It started during COVID, and it's food e-commerce businesses all across the U.S.
Oh wow!
And so we started in COVID just because what's going on, how you doing, and then COVID ended, and we're like, this is the best. We still do it. It's this great second Wednesday of every month. So there's enough business for all of us, and all of that. So that to me is how I have a healthy business and healthy life, really too, is my networking and connections with others.
How about you, Heather?
I don't know that I can say it any better than you already did, but certainly networking. I really believe in collaboration. That's not every dollar is a dollar I want to make, but I really like joining with others. I believe that we rise together. Let's see. So in my cigar business, we will do an event and we partner with other small businesses.
Great.
So we've got 7 locations on Roosevelt Road that you can come to and enjoy cigars from our Racontu cigars. And when we do an event, we invite the community, and that not only benefits the cigar business, it also benefits whomever that we're working with. So it's a great thing to have the community join you, and cigar smokers are awesome. So it's nice that to be welcomed spaces.
That's great.
What are some of the businesses on Roosevelt Road that you collab with?
Oh gosh, let's see. Fair Trade Cafe, Genuine, Hamburguesas and Cervezas, Barcoa, Greenwood Brewery, Tap That Downtown. And what am I missing? I think that's all. There's 7 right now that you can.
Great.
Yeah, we are the only cigar purveyor in downtown Phoenix, so you can.
Really?
We're located at the 1001 building on Roosevelt, Central and Roosevelt, and you can come and purchase cigars from us and go to any of those locations and be welcomed and eat and drink and smoke and enjoy.
This is good
that's
to
great.
tell my
Good for you.
It's
buddy.
lovely. And
Yes.
how much more fun is that than having, I mean, I'm a developer. If I wanted at this point brick and mortar, I think I know how to do that.
Yeah.
I love collaborating. I love sending our customers and meeting other customers. And it's a wonderful way to, that we're all small businesses, you know. It's this is what turns the economy. It's not Costco.
Yes.
It's the small, hard things that we do.
Yeah.
We
So-
do. Yes.
It really is.
Believe that.
Where did your name come from? Rockin' Tuesday.
Oh, well,
Right.
yeah, raconteuse. Let's see, I've been smoking cigars for a long time, 25 years or so. And I've always wanted to get into the industry. But I didn't necessarily have an attraction to brick and mortar lounge. So I think I just was always looking to see. And when we decided to continue an event business at the warehouse, I saw all of these people celebrating. And I thought to myself, well, what do I enjoy doing when I celebrate? Oh, I enjoy having a cigar. So I created a cigar business to help those in that particular venue celebrate. And then it evolved, of course, into something unexpected, which always happens.
Yeah.
But in my formulation of the business, one thing that's wonderful about cigar smokers is that the art of conversation is not lost upon us. We want a place to sit. We want to be welcomed, and we don't want the music loud because we really want to be able to hear one another.
Yeah.
So a raconteuse is a female storyteller, a woman that's great with her words.
I love that.
So I thought, gosh, if I'm going to have a woman's cigar company, I better be a raconteuse.
Yeah.
I
So
love that.
that's where
That's
raconteuse
amazing.
came from.
That's great.
Yeah.
I got a great idea for a content series for social media for you if you ever just like popped into my head.
All right.
Just based on that. So that could be interesting.
I'm in.
We'll chat later.
Yeah.
So, as we all know, running a business can be pretty demanding. And so, how do you both manage your work-life balance, and does a wellness ever play a role in that for you? What does that look like
gosh.
for you?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I think I'm a very creative person. So for me, I have to feed the creative beast. And that brings me centeredness, kind of fills me back up. I do that in a lot of different ways. I throw pottery, which is
Oh.
Cool, I didn't know
a
that.
space that, I lose time in, and I find it very rejuvenating. Also, just I love live basketball. I love live music. I love smoking cigars. That's something you can't rush through, and you are in the moment. And then just spending time with family, right? And enjoying your people. I think it's so important, and we have realized it even more so because of COVID. The community amongst your people, whatever you choose that to look like, is important to stay connected.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah, you don't ever know what people are going through.
Truth.
That's the truth.
Yeah. I for myself, I really need to, if I can, get out in the morning with my dog in nature. That is really the way I can,
lovely.
and I've tried listening to a podcast at the same time, but no. So it's complete silence when I do that hopefully every day if I can. I did have a little injury back to, frustration. Yoga is definitely a part of my life, but I've had to do things differently, which is frustrating. So I feel maybe a little out of balance, but 2024 is here and I can work on that. But at work too, we have actually done, and then they liked it, thought kooky a little first, but breath work and movement, just for things to share for the stress. I kind of do this annual holiday talk for those in customer service because people can get pretty nasty on the phone that really I just tell everybody it's about take a deep breath and keep drinking your water. And then we're lucky because of the weather here, just go outside and take a walk. I just think all of us, however we can calm our mind is very helpful because, again, you just don't know what's going on
I think
with
that as
everybody.
I'm tell me if you feel the same. As a business owner, the energy in the room is our responsibility.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
It really is trickle down.
Yes.
So I'm so
Yes.
protective
Trickle
of
down.
that.
Mhm.
I really, I need for the people that I work with to experience as much joy as I do. And in whatever form that needs to look like, including being very protective of the energy in that room. So it's something that I pay attention to. And
Which, of course, can be challenging if somebody's not feeling their best and doing and putting a different kind of energy out there, because usually as a leader, you don't really want to call somebody out in a group. That's not helpful then for everybody. So so it's kind of sometimes like
one of the hard things.
how to keep the keep the meeting going, whatever's going on, plus try to sway some energy that's not feeling good another way. How do you do that? I'm sure as leaders we all have our different little tricks to try and
Brownies help.
change things.
Yeah.
We
do, and I think even just as leaders, we all have our off days too, and
course.
it's like,
Right.
I know when I get stressed out, it's can be dicey. So I try not to let that affect
Sure.
my environment. Or my business partner over here, but I'm a human being, and we all just
we all deserve grace.
We all deserve
sure.
grace,
And the benefit of the doubt.
you're holding the bag for everybody and everything. It's a big responsibility. So, I know that both Gordon and I try to do as much of our own self-care, and we meditate and practice, and just again the stress relief practices, staying on top of that's really important.
You said partner, so I have a partner too. We have very distinct roles, but I feel really grateful to have a partner because we've gone through different things in our lives, and if it's a low point for the other, we do not mind. It has never been about keeping score between us, and so it's
Not with
just
good partners.
always helping each other out. And back to, like I mentioned, I was just signing the anniversary cards. My David and I actually give each other one too, because it's just it's like a mail merge. So, Eileen, congratulations on your 32 years at Fairy Tale Brownies. And so I already saw what he wrote. For October, he wrote OG BFF on mine and signed it.
Awesome.
So so I'm really, I got that too. That keeps me in balance.
Great. Yeah.
Totally.
Yeah.
I have with one of my development companies, Arizona Warehouse Holdings, I have a partner in New York, and he's been in the development business for over 50 years. And just the wealth of knowledge that to have someone that is willing to give of themselves to teach you is so valuable that, to have a good partner really is everything.
Indeed.
It's so important. So, and to be able to add value to one another.
Agreed.
It's great, right? We rise together.
Yes, I believe that to be true.
Yes. All right. So what advice would you give up-and-coming female entrepreneurs pursuing their business goals? What advice would you give them?
Business advice?
Or
Personal advice?
also even
wellness,
we were
or-
talking about maintaining healthy work-life
Sanity,
balance.
It's
even
interesting. I was asked to speak at a women's leadership conference by Dress for Success, and it was a very interesting day. At one point, we got to kind of walk around and sit for 15 or 20 minutes at each of the tables and speak to the women there. And one of the women said to me, I would like to come and volunteer with something that you're doing. I've never met someone that speaks like you do as a woman. And she explained that she really was endeavoring to start a business herself, but still had her children to take care of and had a more traditional role in her household, and how she felt very guilty about not having dinner on the table or not doing those things that were required of her as far as what she understood. And you know what I said to her? First of all, that I give you permission to be selfish. And I don't think of that as a bad thing. I think of that as a great thing. And I think that if you as a woman, as a parent, are selfless and put your children's needs first, of course, your husband's needs first, your family's needs first, your children do not learn that lesson. What they learn is that you don't value yourself because you don't prioritize yourself. And I don't want my children learning that, because children idolize their parents. They think that we're all knowing and all seeing. So when that person does not care for themselves, the child then understands that they really must not be valuable because this person that they idolize is not taking care of themselves. So she's come to a few of our cigar events. She's a very nice woman. And I'm really happy to say that she said that it really helped her. So
That's awesome.
I think that it's important to know these things. And it's important to know that you can be whatever you want to be when you grow up. We do not have to be beholden to whatever the ideals of what a woman is supposed to be. I don't prescribe to that. I just don't.
Isn't there's something in yoga, like at the end of class, right, that we're doing this for ourselves, that we can give more to those around us, and that's that. And I
Correct.
try to,
You gotta fill your
the
cup.
thing I always go to when people ask, and I have mentored some young women in food production businesses across the U.S., is about, which I'm glad to help them, is really asking for help. That's really the thing I try to always share.
Excellent
is like
advice.
to ask
Excellent
for
advice.
help. For others, and to think about where you're weak. When we started, we had an advisory council, which I had seen in college in the entrepreneur program. So, it was business people and entrepreneurs. So the way we kind of did it is like, so okay, you're good at that, I'm good at this, and what? But what are we weak at? And then that's the kind of advisory board we put together. All our experts at the weak people were sitting around. I mean, at our weaknesses, we're sitting around the table to help us create a really strong businesses. Because we were told in the beginning, even we were super small, it was all about processes and people, like that we should think about a big business, that we're a big business now and we're little. So I try to share that too, because then hopefully good things happen. And when they do, you're ready. You have that figured out, whatever it is, that operation or that HR aspect or whatever.
And there's
it is.
also that like really important adage to build to where you want to be, not where you are.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like that.
That's great advice. Yeah, processes and people. We feel that. Yeah, I realize that.
It's so
early
translatable
on.
to any business.
Yep.
Right? We all do such different things, but all of those basic tools, that basic knowledge as to how to be a good human and run a good business, they translate no matter what it is that your skill set is.
Yeah.
Or if you just need help, what do you share with your employment offer? She's a contractor, I'm not, but it's probably still helpful.
Sure.
Or whatever it is,
Yeah.
confidentiality, whatever it is.
For sure, recognizing what you're good at, and then realizing when you need help, and then giving yourself permission
Sure.
to take time for yourself.
And I've also learned that my not understanding something is not a reflection of how bright I am. It is just a reflection of my exposure. So as I come into new industries and I'm learning new things about those industries, I have no problem at all stopping a conversation, saying to someone, I don't understand that vernacular. Can you please explain that to
Right.
me?
Yeah.
And that's important to help to learn and grow, that you do ask those questions without a lot of people or the fake it till you make it. I actually want to learn. I don't want to fake it. I want to learn what
Right.
that is.
Yeah.
So
And then you can learn from your mistakes.
Yes.
that too.
That's a great way to learn too.
Yeah.
Is you F up and then you figure out how to not do that again.
Yeah.
Well, and
fail fast.
Right.
Figure it out.
Well, when you
Podcast.
only make money 1 month a year, it's hard to fail.
yes.
It's hard to regroup. It might
Yes.
take 12 months.
For sure.
Hashtag 7 million brownies.
We did that. We did that once, and it was our 25th year of business, and we we did it to ourselves, shot ourselves in the foot, but we took care of it and had to be patient for 12 months, and that's very
Challenging.
challenging.
Yes.
Being patient for 1
Because
month
now
is
that's
challenging.
almost 7 years later. Yeah.
No, it makes sense. Makes
Plus,
sense.
just stuff happens, whether it's pandemic or recession or.
Well, and I think also I was asked on an interview how I handled failure. And I honestly thought about it, and I don't think that I experienced failure ever, because I don't look at things through that lens. If something does not work, then I learn an important lesson.
Yes.
When you are starting a business, what I know is that I don't know what I don't know. And there's so many lessons to learn in order for you to pivot towards the success of that business, that I don't look back and say, that failed. I look back and I say, that's not going to work. This is what needs to happen. So you evolve, and it's really necessary to do the things that don't work, because if you don't try, you don't know.
Right.
So it's learning lessons. I like that.
Yes,
Instead of
for
those
sure.
are the better words.
Be teachable.
Yeah,
You
learning
know?
lessons.
Yeah, absolutely. Being open and continuing to grow and learn, I think, is so important.
Yeah, in all things.
Yes, in all things.
Agreed.
Definitely.
So I'd like to talk a little bit more about your businesses, and both of you have a social impact component in everything that you do. And so
Absolutely.
Can you discuss the importance of philanthropy in your respective businesses and just
Sure.
your personal mission?
Sure. Well, I am absolutely mission focused. I am not money focused. You know, I am purpose driven. I am not profit driven. And my friend Eileen is exactly the same way. And I think that is absolutely a tenet of all of my businesses, that you need to find a way to be of service to the community. You have to find a way to give back. And I think it's very important to do that. And there are really creative ways you can do that. When I was remodeling Warehouse 215, I contacted Maricopa County Health Services, and it was at the tail end of COVID, and I asked if they needed a location for COVID vaccines. I just wanted to offer the building. I had 28,000 square feet of air-conditioned space. So they did not, but they came the next day and interviewed me and asked me what populations I wanted to serve, and I said, anyone marginalized. And a few months later, they contacted me. They were having problems finding a location for an event, and I'm happy to say that we have vaccinated over 5,000 Phoenicians against monkeypox and COVID in that building.
Wow.
And it was just something to be creative, to find a way to be of service. I do a lot of that in my cigar business as well. We're really happy to say that our cigar experiences are very popular. And last year we donated one to Boys and Girls Club of Scottsdale, and they're a lovely organization, and they made $18,000.
Oh, wow.
And then we donated to our fabulous friends at Dress for Success Phoenix, and they earned, $40,000, and it helped 100 women.
Wow.
So
That's awesome. That's
I
great.
mean, those are the things that I truly am most proud of.
Yes. I love that.
And starting a food business, you kind of start attracting requests for donations. And
Same with cigars.
It's a little overwhelming, because who do you say no to?
All right, I'm going to pause 1 minute, because we're asked to give baskets all the time. And I just want you to know that Fairy Tale Brownies is always included in our cigar baskets.
Thank you. They do pair
Yes,
well. We used to
beautifully.
have beginning days. Okay, side note, beginning days of Fairy Tale Brownies. There was a warehouse. It was Highland Cigars down the road. And anyways, we had a ladies cigar club at TT Roadhouse,
cool.
and was mentioning the other day.
Legendary spot in
Yeah,
Scottsdale.
and we actually, the news even came out, and I think really we started it because my coworker wanted to talk to the cute boy at the cigar place. And so like he did the first class, but we'd meet at TT Roadhouse and we had meetings, and so then the news came, and then the news actually aired it regionally. So then there was like relatives like, hey, what? You smoke cigars now? Anyways, but so for Fairy Tale Brownies though, my friend and I, we met on the kindergarten playground. So really when we kept getting asked for food, we're like, when is this going to stop? So we through YEO, because I was already on a nonprofit board, they asked me to be a part of this new thing they were calling Social Venture Network. And they basically asked what I needed as a business owner. And I said, I need to find a focused 501c3 that's actually nationwide, where based here in Phoenix, but our customers are all over. So I'd like, if I have a buyer in New York or Montana, whatever, to feel like they can give back as well by doing business with me. So we found Kaboom. YO helped us find Kaboom, and they help build safe play spaces.
Oh, cool.
And so
cool.
these days, schools are built without playgrounds because they don't have the budget. A typical playground costs about $100,000. Wow. So we didn't really like that. So, we've been working with them since 2001 and have helped with many play spaces across the U.S. with like our annual contributions with our customers. And then here in Phoenix, we've done, like, they call it a seed or lead build. And so we've done lead builds where we become the lead fundraiser and we raise all the money for that. We do it with community partners. And so the most recent playground we built was last year at Loma Linda. And Kaboom's mission statement now is to end play inequity. And so,
wow.
So they,
That's sad.
so over there, these kids, some of them, they'd have to even cross like through the freeway, but go over a mile to get to a park. So Kaboom helps us find the place, and then we worked with the city because I said if we're going to build this, we need it to be a play space where it's open 24/7 so that other kids can come there on the weekend. And this was one too for older kids. They had something for the little kids. So this was older kids. So we raised the money with others and built it. And it's one of those
awesome.
where there's months of planning, but then, we close the bakery. It's 200 volunteers and you go out, and by the end of the day, it's like poof, like magic. There's a playground
awesome.
built,
That's really
and
cool.
and the kids come out and tell stories and all. So this last one, we did one of these Gaga pits, which is like new cool thing for the older kids. It's kind of like within a we built like this little wall. It's kind of like this ball thing where they're like throwing balls but they have a great time at each other. But
That's cool.
But in things too that are more strengthening, like with going across bars and all. And since they've been doing that, we always meet with the school after, and they have experienced less bullying because those kids didn't have anywhere to go. They had a big dirt, dead grass
lot.
area for the lot, for the kids to go out. But if you just go out, and you go on your phone and you're in your clique, and you could be having a bad day and whatever. But if you go out now and there's stuff to like use your energy on, better things happen. And so it's just, so we are just really happy that we found them, and they're based out of DC so that they can lobby for play. But the reality is a lot of schools aren't built with play spaces. So it can be anything. We have helped, do shading. We've helped redo just like a baseball diamond. We did something with the Foundation for Blind Kids, which was totally different. It's just anyway. So it's so wonderful. That's how we've decided to focus and give back for our company. And it's definitely part of our responsibility, as you said, that as a company, it's part of your give back, your bottom line, your double bottom line, whether it's cash or product or knowledge that you're giving back.
What message do you have for young women who are aspiring to be entrepreneurs? Top 3 things.
Top 3 things. I'd say write a business plan or something conceptual, and think about your space and learn about what others are doing in that space. And like I mentioned, I'm friends with my competitors, so and maybe even get to know them versus looking what my competitors are doing and doing it all secretively. I think so that looking at your space, write a business plan, and just be patient and persistent. Those would be my top 3 things.
Good advice.
Excellent. I still need that advice, I think.
Yeah, I like that.
I think I would say to go boldly forward. It's okay to be unafraid, even if you don't understand. I think it's important to still know that you're moving towards something. I think it's important to pivot towards the success and not be bullheaded about what you thought something was going to be, but allow it to evolve organically as it needs to, so you can pivot to the success. That's very hard to learn. But once you learn it, it's so translatable. And then I think that I would say be of service to others, be an ally, gather others together and rise together. Those things
Good one.
kind of help you stay centered with what you're doing.
Yeah. That's a great
How about you?
advice also.
What would you guys say to the budding entrepreneur?
A couple.
Find a good partner.
Yeah.
Find a good partner for
Yeah,
sure.
for sure.
That's important. But I think it's being mindful of the people in your immediate circle. Their opinions might not align with your vision, and being able to take it for what it is, and it's just an opinion and not necessarily experience, and seek out those that have or are doing what you are actually looking to do. That experience, I think, is really important, because your immediate network or your immediate friends or family may not know anything about what you're doing and just tell you that that's a bad idea. Don't do it. And so getting past that, I think, is really important. And then going back to surrounding yourself with people that play at what you may have a hard time doing. So if there's something that, whether it's accounting or social media or whatever it might be, and you know that that's not your strong suit, bring that person in that plays at that, and it's easy for them. So
It just goes back to what we were saying about finding your superpowers and just doing that.
Yeah.
yeah.
I would agree with all of that. And I would also add, for me, like envisioning or vision boarding what it will look like. And that can be as simple as, sitting down and drawing that out, or is it making a list and timelines depending on what your learning style is or what your preference is. For me, the kitchen is my hub of energy and creativity, and so my vision board is my refrigerator. And so I would put I have Plant.Body.Soul, and I have Can of Cool up there, and just kind of bringing things that means certain things to me, success. What does that look like? And it all comes together on the refrigerator. So I would just say finding space to get clear about the vision. And then also I would add, in order to get clear, you need to meditate. And I know not everybody wants to hear that, but it's the truth. And it's always the way. So as much as I tried to argue with myself that it wasn't the way and I didn't need it for some period of time, that was years ago. And then I was humbled and realized that it was the way. So for me, it was like, okay, so get clear about what you want, and then see it and look at it every day. And you will get there. So
Yes.
that's my advice.
I love putting it in the fridge. I'm gonna use that.
Well,
especially when it's just you and you see it, you get that little special secret reminder.
Totally. And I was by myself up until very recently, but I even put like my intentions for the year. I like to write intentions in list form, so I'd write that down, and every day I would go by the refrigerator and I'd read it and I'd look at it. Okay. And then I also wrote a little letter to little Jennifer, telling her to keep her heart open and don't let anybody tell you you're too sensitive, or that you're crazy, or that you don't know what you're doing, or I wrote that and I would read it every day. So that's just part of that vision board. It's like getting clear, seeing it, and also being kind to yourself and
positive self
talk for sure. And that self-talk, I think that the meditation helps with
it does.
the self-talk and understanding whatever the practice is, whether it's breath work or meditation or yoga or something that is a tool
meditative
that will
practice.
help you when it gets tough, because life gets tough for everyone.
This is the truth. So where do you see your businesses in the next 5 years? What are your long-term goals?
Well, I guess there's business and personal on the business. So in the business, I mean, really for it to continue to grow a healthy business, we do profit sharing. We have all the 40 year-round employees and families, and at the holidays we get up to 150, 60, 70 employees, and so we want to have the healthy business to pay for all that. But we do profit sharing, so just continuing to grow, I guess, is like, because that's what'll help us have funds to do new things, and it's just
build more playgrounds.
Yeah, exactly, and to build more playgrounds. On the personal side, though, like, because I want my business to always grow, and maybe it just keeps growing within the leadership, so that maybe we take even more of a step back. It's going to be 32 years this year. Always like, what else am I going to do with my life? So I'm a very creative person too, but I don't throw pottery and I don't paint and all that. I'm more of a supporter of the arts, and have connected. I have sold art for artist friends, and but I'd like to have more time to do that, and maybe even more time for Kaboom and their message. So for me, I'd love to have more time to do things more in the art and nonprofit world. 5 years.
That's very cool.
Yeah.
She's so altruistic. I don't know how to answer that. Where do I see myself? Well, I will absolutely continue saving the history of Phoenix, one old building at a time. I think that's really important. There's a few on my radar right now that I'm very hopeful to be able to save. I think also I love exposing cigar smokers to the unexpected spaces in Phoenix that you can go and experience. So I want to continue doing that. I think that I am just open to what the future has in store for me, even though I don't know what that looks like. I'm always excited to see what happens, because there's always an evolution.
Yeah.
So looking forward to it.
I like that.
Well, stay
This world is
tuned.
ever-changing.
That's the
Yes,
truth.
yes.
It is.
Yeah, of course.
It is indeed.
Mm-hmm.
Any final thoughts or advice for our listeners?
I guess I'll go.
Okay.
I mean, there are a few tenets that I really follow in my life and in my business. And I think that you need to find out what your superpowers are, and you need to use them for good. You need to do all the things. You need to find ways to be of service. You need to be an ally. And I think that you need to gather others together and rise. So I think that's something that has centered me really well, and I hope that it would help others as well.
I just think we've said so many great things. I really, I think kindness is really all I can think of that's left, about just loving kindness in your work relationships and your personal relationships, and they do meld. And I believe in letting good ripple. So,
Lovely.
May we each do good things each day, whether they seem so small that what am I doing that helps? It is, because I definitely believe in letting good ripple, and that, because our world is so big, but it's so small. So small things.
I love
do
thinking
make
of
a
it
Yes.
that way.
difference.
It's a really cool visual too.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Because it does ripple, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
it does. It does.
I mean, it's part of unfortunately, in my industries, I don't really know. Like, for my development business and my general contracting business, I have a unicorn as a logo, which I love unicorns.
Yeah.
But it's also because I don't know any women that do what I do. And that has to change. And in order to have that change, you have to be visible. People have to see examples of it.
Yeah.
I had it every day at my dining room table with my family, right? Just multi-generational entrepreneurial spirit moving through us. Not many people have that. So that ripple you're talking about is also part and parcel of people seeing you, and you're being the example of what they can also be. It's
Thank you.
important.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Which I guess which is the goodness my parents gave me, because that whole entrepreneur was not my thing, but the I guess, learning lessons versus failing. Like I mentioned, right, I was kicked off Romper Room. I did very many stupid things, but my dad was a psychologist and totally believed in learning by doing. I guess we'll quit using that F word anymore after this podcast. So I'm grateful that I learned how to be really good at that. So I just was like, went for what I didn't know how to do and how to do it. So you leading will make it even easier for women, so thank you.
Thank you. Also, I mean, I'm so grateful to have other strong women around me, and like-minded women as well, because that doesn't always happen.
And there's a lot of men that support women like us too, and that's the best.
Of course, we are not man bashing. We love men.
No.
It takes all of us.
Absolutely.
Well, a lot of men would say that. My husband much prefers women. I guess.
That's funny.
But in a respectful way.
Yeah, of course.
Yes. Yeah. We're smart.
Yeah.
We are. My partner Butch likes to remind me frequently. He says, women, you are portals into other worlds. You birth life, and obviously without the seed we can't have life, but you literally have 1 foot in and 1 foot out of dimensions, to be able to bring life into this world. It's a pretty
it's kind
interesting,
of a phenomenal thing
right?
to think about,
is.
having the ability to do that.
Portal of life, and the feeling and the intuitiveness and the I think is really something special that comes from being a woman. So the yin.
Yes.
But we can't have yin without the yang.
Right.
So we need them both.
Definitely.
The token male in the room.
Yes.
I know.
Exactly.
Everything.
We also
surround
have
myself
woods
with
off
payback.
camera
Lots of strong women around me.
As it should be.
Yeah. So can you remind our audiences about how they can find out more about women, PHX24? Where can they find you, and where can they maybe even follow you on social media?
So for this event, we're brewing together with a lot of other female in our community. Go check out Women PHX to be exact, womenphx24.com. And also our Instagram is Women PHX.
Sweet. So
Awesome.
Our listeners, please go ahead and give them a follow and stay tuned as to what is going to
Up-to-date
unfold.
details,
Yeah,
yes.
up-to-date details.
Yes, looking forward to it.
And we like to close out our podcast with a series of plant, body, and soul related questions. So we thought we would end on a fun note. And I'm going to let you, Gordon, pick the first question.
Sure.
Oh my. Uh-oh.
Nobody shared these.
I know, right? We're going to go straight to the body category. And I would love to hear if there's any self-care practices that you do on a regular basis.
No, I grew up here in the desert, and so swimming was kind of my thing, and dance. Movement has always been a big part of my self-care, and I guess as I got older, it turned more to yoga than dance, just because of time and body changes.
Yeah, just easier on your body. We like the yogas here.
Yeah, so it's just really important to me that I can still, though, like my little personal things, that I can still do the splits and I can still do a back bend and all that at my age.
Okay, note to self.
My aunt used to always do a cartwheel every year on her birthday, so I've kind of like taken that up from her. So
it's really cute.
But I mentioned the walking my dog. I mean, it's like to immerse myself in nature and yoga, and just I want to be. And now once you have a kid too, you want to be around as long as you can. So I want to be healthy and be able to do as much as I can, with her and her friends and her community. And then if she has a family, I want to be able to be able to move and not like waving from afar in a chair like, oh, that looks so fun. I want to be a part of it. I want to be a part of it.
Well, yoga helps that.
Yeah.
For sure.
Keeps you durable.
Definitely.
How
How about you, Heather? Self-care.
Well, I grew up lifting. So I spent college, grad school up until I had babies and load-bearing weight, and I love being strong and muscular. Now that I'm immensely working a lot, I don't have the time that requires for that. But there's so many other ways to care for yourself. I lost my father in November, and he was a really phenomenal individual and left a huge hole in so many people. But for each of us that have lost people, we have a responsibility to live life well for them. Because he's not here anymore. And part of that legacy he left is for me to live my life well with everything that he gave to me. So I take really seriously being healthy and caring for yourself in whatever way it's appropriate for you. So, I think we just have to live our lives well. As far as I know, we only get to do this once, as far as I know. So I'm going to live it well.
Or this version,
Absolutely.
I lost my dad last year, too. And that was part of at the temple when I brought him.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry about that.
But you know what? I'm so grateful to have a father that was worthy of mourning.
Right.
What an amazing
Glad
thing to
for
have.
the
I
gifts
can't be sad about that. As much as it hurts, it's still, I'm so grateful to have had someone like that raising me, he and my mom. Because there are people that don't have good experiences, that don't have fathers. So to be able to mourn someone that so immensely shaped who you are is a blessing.
It's a beautiful thing to say, and may their memories always be a blessing for you.
Thank you.
Definitely.
I'd love to ask a soul-related question. And, here at Plant.Body.Soul, the soul category can be really anything that ignites the soul. So whether it's music or art or food, brownies, dancing, spirituality. So I'd love to know what you are passionate about other than work, building playgrounds. What other things are you really passionate about?
For me, it's live music and art. Seeing art, watching people create art, visiting art, all kinds of art too, whether it's performative or visual. And then live music, I just love, which, we were talking a little earlier about, Grateful Dead. And new music is so fun, too, but I still love the Rolling Stones also.
That's awesome. Well, certainly live music I love, definitely. It's something I can't get enough of. I'm also a huge live basketball fan, so I really enjoy going to games, go Suns. And that's a really great way to kind of release and relax and just be immersed in the great experience that they've created. We welcome Matt Ishbia to town. We're really happy to have him. And I think also just kind of being mindful of where I am and what space I'm in, and respecting that space, I think is a really important thing to have that centeredness. I do love smoking cigars. And that's because I enjoy being with that community. I love traveling. That's something I really like. Going out of country, I think it's really important to see other parts of the world so you're not ethnocentric. You need to understand that so many people live differently than we do. And when you do that, you realize that we have absolutely nothing to complain about. When you see the struggles of others, it really helps balance those challenges, right? And the stuff that we worry about is so unimportant typically. To just worry about the important things and focus on those is helpful, I think, for your soul as well.
Before we leave, where can people find you and your businesses?
Let's see. ImagineDevelops.com can take you to my development business as well as general contracting, and RackOn2Cigars.com will take you to our cigar website. We also are on IG, Rack-On2 Cigars, and would love to meet more cigar smokers.
Excellent.
We are Brownies.com. You can find all things Fairy Tale Brownies, and we actually bake cookies and blondies too. It's primarily gifting that we do. But here in Phoenix, we're at all the AJ's, fine food stores, and Duck and Decanter, Tempe Farmers Market, if you just need one fairy tale brownie for the afternoon snack. But brownies.com is the best place to go. And we're on Instagram, Facebook, X, and YouTube, and et cetera. But yeah, visit brownies.com or just follow up and sign up and see what we're doing. We always have an open house in the fall too at our place, which is fun if you ever want to see how
and
we
tons and tons of
bake,
available brownies.
Brownies, yeah. And it's a fundraiser for Kaboom too.
Okay.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
Well, we'll link all of those places and sites and things in the notes so people can find you easily.
Thank you.
And for those of you that are listening, if you loved what you hear, please give us a 5-star review and subscribe to whatever platform you found us on. We are on all of them. You can also find us on Instagram at Plant.Body.Soul, as well as Facebook at Plant.Body.Soul. YouTube is Plant.Body.Soul. And Plant.Body.Soul.com, you can sign up for our email list and find out when we're doing fun events. We're always
And I've been to a bunch of them. They're so fun.
Thank you.
They're
And
so fun.
we have some at your Warehouse 215.
Yes.
We have one coming up April 12th, I believe.
Excellent.
Another Friday high day after
Excellent.
dark.
I'm sure it will be another
okay.
winner.
Yeah, we're excited. We love the space, and we love both of you. So thank you again for being
Thank
here.
you.
Thank you for being here.
Thanks. Fun
Thank
doing
you.
this together.
Yeah, agreed.
Thank you.